sind auf eine lange Schlacht vorbereitet. Aus ganz Europa treffen mit Zügen Truppen und Vorräte ein. Wir rücken langsam vor, Schwelle für Schwelle, Schiene um Schiene. Sie sind unsere Skalpelle, die in das Herz Frankreichs stechen. Wir werden dieses Land aufschneiden und ausbluten lassen. Diese Offensive hat einen Decknamen, Operation Gericht. Ich weiß, dass diese Schlacht diesen schrecklichen Krieg beenden wird.
I have a lot of Battlefield 1 gameplay to cover and share with you specifically on specific battles from the game. Battlefield 1's been out for quite some time now, since 2016, and there were some battles that were really interesting to me that I feel like I want to share with you guys. This was supposed to be a video coming out for Veterans Day, but I am far late for that. So this is going to be just kind of like a holiday video, since there were peace treaties during the holidays in World War I. So I guess this can relate some way or another with the lines of that. But I first wanted to make a video about the Battle of Verdun, because that is my favorite operations on Battlefield 1, because we have Verdun Heights and then Fortifox, or Fortifo, however you pronounce it. And I was reading on it, I was doing some research, and I really found this battle was interesting. This is the longest battle in World War I. I'm going to go very brief, I'm not going to go very descriptive on it. And playing the Operations game mode in Battlefield 1 perfectly illustrates how the battle went down in World War I, and it actually gives you backstory on who won the battle, what happened during the battle, the strategies, the outcomes of who would have won the battle. So with that being said, I'm going to tell you the Battle of Verdun, while there's gameplay in the background leading up to each battle in the Verdun Heights operations. So with that being said, I'm going to explain to you guys what happened in the Battle of Verdun, while in the background gameplay there's going to be the Verdun Heights gameplay with Fortifo and the Operations game mode. I hope you enjoy. With the Battle of Verdun taking place in February of 21st through the 18th of December in 1916 on the Western Front in France, this was the longest battle in World War I. The 5th Army of the Germans attacked the defenses of the fortified region of Verdun and those of the French Second Army. With the French using their experience from the Second Battle of Champagne in 1915, the Germans planned to capture the Maus Heights. Claiming this meant an excellent defensive position with good observation for artillery fire on Verdun, which means they were able to launch artillery on the Americans, Canadians, and the British. The Germans were hoping the French would commit their strategic reserve to recapture the position and suffer catastrophic losses at little cost to the Germans. With poor weather delaying the beginning of the attack until the 21st of February, the Germans captured Fort Delmont. In the first 3 days, the advance then slowed for several days. By the 6th of March, 20 French divisions were in the region of Verdun. The old Marshal, which was the general officer, Philippe Toumaisin was his name. He became the Marshal of France at the end of World War I during the state of Vichy France from 1940 to 1944. He was 84 years old in 1940 and was claimed to be the French's oldest, highest-ranking officer. Philippe ordered no retreat and that the Germans' attacks were to be counterattacked. Despite the exposing French infantry from German artillery fire, he still carried on the order for them to defend the fort at all costs. However, with French guns on the west bank had begun a constant bombardment on Germans on the east bank, causing many infantry casualties on the Germans. The Germans' offensive was extended to the west bank of the Maus to gain observation and eliminate the French artillery firing over the river, but the attacks failed multiple times. There were multiple phases throughout the battle and the months leading on to the end of the battle. All the way from February to December, there was constant action. In early May, the Germans changed tactics again and made local attacks and counterattacks. The French recaptured part of Fort Delmat, but then the Germans ejected them and took many prisoners. The Germans tried alternating their attacks on either side of the Maus, and in June captured Fortval. In July, the offensive was cut back to provide troops, artillery, and ammunition on the Battle of the Somme, leading to the transfer of the French 10th Army. In June through August, Fleury changed hands 16 times and the Germans' attack on Fort Salve failed. In September through December, French counteroffensive recaptured much ground of the east bank and recovered Fort Delmont and Fort Foe. The battle lasted for 302 days, the longest and one of the most costly in human history. In 2000, Hannes Heer Klaus Hahn calculated that the French suffered 3,700 casualties, and the Germans suffered 337,000. And the average amount of casualties a month was 70,000. In 2014, William Philpott wrote that there were 976,000 casualties in 1916. For the French, this was a major victory, holding the lines from the Germans. Hints about the attack of Verdun was picked up by Dutch military intelligence and passed on to the British in December. Thanks to the French, the battle for Verdun could have been lost, and the Allies would have had a very hard time coming back from this. The French suffered the most casualties out of any nation in World War I, so without the French, we wouldn't have won this war. Thank you all for serving. You all are heroes. Thank you all. Have a great day.
valiant victory, Soldaten. The forts which dominate this region, that protect the Allied lines, will soon be ours. Onwards!
After an initial breakthrough, the Germans took the massive fort Douaumont. This advance would soon come to a halt as the French poured men and resources into the area, determined to defend Verdun at all costs. And as the Germans approached Bordeaux, the outcome was far from certain.
Morgen sollen wir Fort Vaux angreifen. Niemand weiß, was sich hinter diesen dicken Mauern verbirgt. Es heißt, die Festung wurde nach Bismarcks schrecklichem Krieg errichtet, um die Region vor zukünftigen Invasoren zu schützen. Und hier stehen wir nun, gehen uns gegenseitig an die Kehle und sterben lieber, anstatt auch nur einen Schritt zurückzuweichen.
The French garrison have barricaded themselves inside of Fort Vaux. Lieutenant Muller has ordered us to breach the fortress moat here. We will then enter the fort and clear the corridors leading up to the central courtyard. From this position, we must clear out any remaining French resistance, pushing them out through the main entrance at the rear end of the fort. Prepare yourselves.
Of our soldiers remain. We are losing objective butter.
Again. But while our great empire stands, we cannot give up. At them. One last time, men.
Trench Raider kit is available near your location. Return to the combat area.
Der Granate! Granate! Werft eine Granate!
We have taken objective apples. Clear the sector from enemy presence.
We have lost this battle, but we are not conquered. When the time is right, we will come again.
The defense of Fort Vaux was marked by the heroism and endurance of the French soldiers stationed there. This small garrison repulsed constant assaults of gas and fire and bullets before physical conditions forced them to surrender. If the Germans had been able to hold the fort, perhaps their assault on Verdun itself would have been successful and the Western Front permanently breached. However, strategically, there was little justification for the atrocious losses on either side.